Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine. Clink and drink. Clink and drink, Trish. Drink, drink.
Already making noises.
Sound effects.
Sound effects.
Awesome.
So before we get started, I do want to make a disclaimer. Our show is called Witches and Wine, and there have been complaints in the past where sometimes people don't appreciate us being tipsy and jovial from the wine. So we just want to let you know that there is this X in the corner, and all you got to do is click on it, and you don't have to watch us. All right. So before we, and I'm your hostess with the mostest, Lola Stardust, by the way. Thank you. Before we get started with our wonderful guest, I'm going to turn this over to my partner in crime, my husband, my high priest, my best friend.
That's right.
Silenus Stardust, tell us about the wine.
Hi, guys. So tonight we have gone a little outside the box, and we've taken the king of all Verona wines, an Amarone Della Valpolicella, to serve tonight. Just like this lady. Rich and classy, this wine.
Oh, rich and classy.
Rich and classy with a lot of mouthfeel.
A lot of mouth.
Yeah. And this wine is made in what's referred to as the Appassamento style, which is a very unique style that comes from Greece, or from Italy, the Verona region. And what they do is they pick the grapes, they chop them up, and then they set them out on reed mats and let them dry for a couple days in the sun. And it enriches the grapes and makes them almost raisinish, but not quite. And then they rehydrate them and then smash them and make them into the wine. So very, very intense, rich wine.
It is.
Not for your faint of heart. Big meal wine. Roast. Steak.
It is hearty. This is a really, really hearty wine.
Very high alcohol content, so just be aware. And,
I've got chocolate.
Yep.
Oh.
Hopefully that'll keep
And it
me.
uses the Valpolicella grape, which is actually what our guest is drinking as well, and she's drinking the Ripasso style Valpolicella, which is the non-dried grape version of it, and also intense flavor,
yummy,
but not quite as heavy a mouthfeel.
Heavy mouth. So Silenus likes to pick wines that relate to our ghosts.
Our
God!
goat. She called you the goat, which means the greatest of all time. I hope you that.
I spend lots of time with goats.
I have only drank like 2 sips.
Yeah, we literally just opened this before the show.
Gosh.
We haven't been drinking it all today.
Something's wrong with me. He likes to match the wine to our guests.
Mm-hmm.
So the full body, I view it as full body, full personality, lots of personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, thank you.
And we've been holding on to this wine specifically for her as a guest at the house. So.
Well, thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's get to our special guest. This is a woman that I absolutely adore. We have worked together at the Wolstenstein Theological Seminary. We finally got to meet in person last year at Spring Mysteries, which was awesome. I love her so much. Trish Parker. Hi, Trish.
Hi there, Lola. Thank you both for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
On your lovely show. I love watching you. I really kind of follow you.
Yeah, she's a big fan of our show, so that's really exciting.
So do you drink along when you're watching?
Not always.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch it. I watch it like when I'm doing something else or sitting in the bathroom or whatever. But I love your show. I do. It's fun. So I'm honored.
We appreciate it, and you're a perfect guest because you're so much fun. I know that when I very first, to tell the viewers, we worked for an online school together, so we didn't really get to see each other in person, but we got to talk to each other a lot. And I could just tell by when I first met you, and I really can't remember when it was. It might have been Red Tent stuff. I don't know. It might have been. I think it was Red Tent stuff. Yeah. Yep. And I just knew, and I would always, and I was your maiden.
Yes.
I was your hearthkeeper when you were a matriarch. And I would get really excited. I even tell my husband, I get to be the hearthkeeper for Trish. I was always really excited.
You were her favorite.
You were my favorite.
Aww.
Don't the others. I don't even know if the others want.
We're live.
So, anyways, Trish, I want to ask you, how long have you been practicing witchcraft? How long have you claimed yourself as a witch? I mean, when did it really?
When did you find the path?
When did you find the path? When did that all start for you?
Well, so I was listening to Mary Malinsky, and her story is similar to mine. Is I've known since I was like 6 years old that I wanted to be a priestess. I wanted to be, very strong religious ties just to spirit and stuff like that. And but witchcraft came along 2002. I was probably in my 30s by then, but I was born and raised Catholic. And my parents were like, my dad was like, he was so against it. Mom was sort of supportive, but I did my own thing. I went to, I said I wanted to be confirmed. So I took myself to my own classes, the classes and stuff, and followed through there. Got married in the Catholic Church and was really strong there. I love the ritual of Catholic Church.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then I had my first child, and my husband, he was an atheist, and that really caused problems. It was probably the second reason why we had to break up, because of his lack of spiritual belief, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't live with, this?
We were just talking about this yesterday, about atheists and how that's really hard for spiritual people to connect with an atheist, because I don't care what you believe in, but you gotta believe in something. You don't have to believe in what I believe in, but there's got to be some sort of spirituality.
Right, and especially when he is antagonistic almost, my son can't be brought up that way. So anyway, it was a big thing. But then, so anyway, my next marriage, I get involved in Southern Baptist, and I am hardcore. I am a Bible thumper. I'm knocking on doors for Jesus.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know this about you.
You go all in with the fun ones.
Yeah.
Said you go all in with the fun ones.
I do. I mean, I was in church like 4 or 5 times a week, and I just love spirit. I love God, and my relationship with Jesus, I can say still, I'm not Christian, but I do respect him as the best witch on the planet.
I'm right there with you. I think Jesus is a really cool guy. I really do.
Yeah.
I get it.
He's Dionysus.
It's Dionysus.
He is Dionysus, and he's also Buddhist. I feel like those time he was gone, the 12 years he was studying Buddhism, and he came back doing Reiki and stuff like that. So that's my personal belief.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, it was like 2002. I had gotten into. I have 6 children. And I was homeschooling, I was home birthing, I was studying herbalism, I was anti-establishment completely, and I had left the Southern Baptist Church because it was very misogynistic, and no lie, I have an accounting degree, and I was told that I was going to go to hell because my husband was not taking over the bills.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was told you're better off letting your husband file bankruptcy than the woman doing the bills. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
It was like, oh man, now we're talking. We're gonna rumble.
Yeah.
Sweetie, if you don't want to take over the bills, you let me know. I have no problem with it.
I'm a Capricorn too, so I do like the keeping track of the money.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, then I went back to the Catholic Church, and then I'm doing all this stuff. Anyway, 2002, my husband, he sat me down. He's like, oh man, I got to show you something that I found the religion for you, and he told me about Wicca, and I was just like, what? Mind blown. Mind blown. I had never even heard of it. I was, like I said, 2002. I don't know how old I was. 34. Yeah. So that's where I found, I started looking into it. And of course, it's so hard to find a group,
Yeah.
I teach for the seminary now, and people are always asking me, where can I find a group? And I'm like, you just gotta look under rocks because it's hard.
You do
it's hard to find a group.
Yeah.
But anyway, You know, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida, and we have a huge pagan community here. I mean, this city is amazing with the things that they have. In 2002, it wasn't as large as it is now, but you can find anything here now.
That's awesome.
I went to a drum circle and I met this old couple, and they were drumming and they were talking to me about this festival that was only 20 minutes from the house where I lived.
Yeah.
And that was the Phoenix Festival. So I was like, really? And my husband and I were interested. And so we, you know, his parents are strict Baptists. That's how we got into it. So we had to hide the fact that we were going to a pagan festival. His mom was babysitting our 6 kids. Okay. And we're
on the same thing. Yeah. We say it's a spiritual retreat when we go to Spring Mysteries. We got to tell well, now they pretty much know. But before it was like, we're going to like a church function, spiritual retreat. Can you watch the kids? And they're like, okay, good for you, you know?
Yeah, we're pretty much out of the witch closet with our family for the most part. So.
Yeah.
Right. My parents are cool about it. My mom was invited to a coven when she was in college, and she has the touch and stuff like that, but she's never really gotten into it, but she's totally open to it, understands it. So, you know, my family and I are completely open.
Yeah.
But so we started going to this festival. It was 5 days, 4 nights of fun drumming and classes and people that like think like me, you know, and I'm like, hey.
So cool.
So yeah, so that's where I made a lot of connections and started getting into the community. And but that, believe it or not, so that was 2002. And 2010, the people who own the festival right now of this date is 30 years old.
Wow.
So it started like in 95. No, that wouldn't make it 30, would it? You do the math. I'm not.
That'd be 25.
Yes.
25 years?
Well, it's 30 years old, so it started
in 90.
In 90.
It was 90, or yeah. Maybe. Yes. So anyway.
Did you say you can't do the math and you're an accountant? I just want to ask that question.
It's the wine. Math is hard when you're drunk.
I've heard about a Florida accounting. I just wanted to confirm these numbers are real.
Hey, you know.
I remember 2000.
All right, now that it's sparked I'm nervous. Okay, so it started in 92.
Okay.
So 92. All right.
28 years. Yeah.
In 2010, the owners sell it to the community, and that's where I got involved as the treasurer. I came on board as a treasurer and had to, you know, file the business license, start the taxes. I had to do all the damn paperwork to make it a 501c3, which was
bet.
Well, that was a chore.
You're our numbers, like you're what we call the purse warden for the ATC.
Yes, I am now, yes.
And so, you know, seeing all the different positions when I was on the staff and seeing everything that went into everything, it really made me realize that religion is a business. Mm-hmm. And especially when you are working with a church, it runs like a business. And so I just, you know, was so naive to it. I thought that we get to play witch all day and talk about spells and magic, but no, I mean, we have staff meetings and where's the money going and who's taking care of this, and it's and on a smaller scale, even with my coven, we have to keep track of those things, even though not on that big of a scale, but still we got to think of, okay, what is our budget for this and blah blah blah, and sometimes it's paperwork, administration work, and sometimes I'm like, I didn't really realize I signed up for this kind of work, but I guess I did.
Well, luckily we have a resource available to us. Hint, hint. If we're ever needing help with things.
Maybe we'll just call Trish and go like, you figure out how we start this. How do we get our budget going?
Because we have our status and everything as a 501c3, just
like,
you know,
through ATC.
Through ATC.
Right. See, I didn't go through ATC. I did it on my own, and it was definitely. I loved the experience. I mean, I was on the phone with the IRS a lot, but yeah, like you said,
love the experience.
I loved talking to the IRS.
I've never heard.
No, I mean, they were super helpful. Now, I did get a lady, listen, she said, I've got 2 months left of this position, and I'm going to make it happen.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool.
I did have that luck, because she's like, normally we wouldn't do this, but I want to get this through. I think she liked my business, you know. It's not very many pagan people coming through IRS, so I really think that's what it was. So she was super helpful and answered my emails right away, and so we were able to get our 501c3 as a religious education. Yeah. And that's what the festival is. So that was 2010. In 2014, I became the coordinator. Yeah. So, yeah.
And there's all that responsibility.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So can you tell everyone exactly what the Phoenix Fire Festival is?
Yeah, what is it? Explain the festival.
Sure. Phoenix Festivals it's a neo-pagan education festival. It's, again, 5 days, 4 nights where we get together, and we have ritual every night, and we're starting to incorporate more rituals during the day. We have education, we have workshops with headliners, and we have drumming and dancing and fire spinning at night, and pagan entertainment. I would liken it to Hecate. Is it Hecate or Hecate? I don't know the accent.
However you pronounce it.
We say Hecate. Some people say Hecate. What?
Hecate. I believe it's kind of like that. So our next event, like, we have Diana Paxson coming. We've had, Selena Fox.
Yeah.
S.J. Tucker. Just a lot of the East Coast people.
Yeah.
But that is where I met Della and Dusty, because they were living in Conyers, Georgia.
Yeah.
And they came to our fall event in 2011, and then they came back in spring of 2012.
Oh, wow.
So I first met them, and I wasn't the coordinator at that time. I was treasurer, so I had to deal with them, with getting their plane tickets and making sure they had accommodations and all that. And I heard about their school, and this was the fall event, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to go and play a game on the computer to learn witchcraft.
Yes.
So when Lola first started the school, I was like, "You gonna go play your game now?"
I would get so mad at him. I'm like, "I'm not playing a game." As I'm dressing my avatar and flying around.
But when she came back the next event, and I saw how the ATC does ritual, or she wasn't really ATC then, how that organization, her coven, did ritual, because she brought a couple people with her from her coven. I went up to her and I said, I want to do that. I want to know how to do that, because I was blown away that they weren't reading their scripts.
Yes.
Okay. That things were memorized. The casting of the circle and everything was memorized, and that the whole ritual just felt so, organic. Like it just went, and it was. Well, she did the White Goddess one year, and then Dusty did his Dionysus. Yeah. And that blew our festival that night. Oh my gosh, everybody was in revelry.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh.
So
what a way to get introduced to them through the White Goddess and Dionysus. That's right. The way to go.
Yeah. So that's how I met Bella, and because she was in Georgia, I was able to become her student. So, and then, go through the school. So I started this school in 2012. It was shortly after I met her the second time.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I homeschooled 6 kids. And so I'm an educator. And I'll tell you right now, Second Life is a fantastic, state-of-the-art, fucking awesome way to learn.
It is.
And I wish that our kids, because my kids do some virtual school with the state, and I wish my children were able to learn their classes through Second Life, because I think students, children would learn a hell of a lot more if they were able to use their avatars and have that interaction with their students. So
oh yeah.
That game turned out to be a platform I very much respect and adore. So it's a good platform. So
you are a student of Wilsonstein and now a teacher. Are you Wise Tradition?
I am Wise. I was training as a Gardnerian.
Okay.
And so Bella met my high priestess here in Jacksonville, and I was given permission to continue to work with the local coven because she was in Washington now at this point. So I was able to do it. So I'm kind of like, I'm working a dual lineage almost. In fact, I'm getting thirded as a Gardnerian next month on the 26th.
Congratulations.
Yes, I know. It's been a long road there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am second degree wise, and one day I'll get my third when I've earned my stripes.
Yeah. Well, I've heard the wise tradition does it. It takes a long time, and I studied under a local coven and got British traditional Wicca and third degree, but I've been seriously considering, just because I want to know all the things, and that's just the way my brain is. I've been considering studying under the wise tradition and working that, and I know it'll take a lot longer, but that doesn't bother me because I would like to have that knowledge. I mean, I kind of got exposed to some of it through the school, but not fully. So yeah, I see a lot of people get double lineage or triple or
I'm going to get it. I just want to get my third first in ours before I take on another practice.
Yeah, he still has to get up to his third, but everything's kind of on hold now with the quarantine because we had like several. I had a third degree I was gonna do elevate. I had dedicants that I was gonna initiate to first degree,
a second degree,
and then I had a second degree, and everything got put on hold with the quarantine. And I don't want to do it through the computer. I don't want to do it. I can't. No,
not for an elevation.
Yeah, I just don't want to. So yeah, I wanted to ask you about your you teach tarot, which when I was taking the tarot class at the school, you were kind of studying under Bella still. She was kind of training you to take over the class.
Right.
So we would work with Bella, and then you would come in like a couple days, or you were there every day, but you would do like the I believe the meditation to go into the card. Was that your kind of thing, or was that? That is something that just I love. It really helped. It really helped me because I've been doing tarot for a while, but that really helps. And I also like how you compare, because I would go to your workshops too, and how you compare all the cards, the different decks.
I do that in class now.
Do you really? Oh, that's awesome.
I do. We do spend time looking at the different, because I think it's important to see the different artist renditions and stuff like that and different symbolism. But yeah, I'm on my 4th year, I believe, teaching tarot.
Yeah.
That way. So.
Well, I remember Lola would always get excited when it became the meditation to the card side. She's like, "Oh, here's time for Trish. You shut up.
Yeah.
Let me get into this card. I want to hear this." And I would totally listen in. I don't do tarot, but I would listen in and be pretty much enthralled with the way you would explore the card.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because it really it does help a lot, and I think it also it kind of puts because I think so many people tarot cards intimidate them, I feel like it intimidates them to be a reader, and because I feel that they feel like they have to know the book by heart.
Right.
And I always learn, and it was nice to see how you and Bella were teaching, because I never picked up the book when I first started reading tarot. I would always look at the cards and see what kind of feeling I got from them, the intuitive reading. And so I really enjoyed that meditation into it, because that's so much intuition. That's so much, what do you feel these symbols represent to you, and go with your gut. Because if it comes out that way with someone you're reading about, 99.9% of the time or 100% of the time, you're right. You've tuned into something. Yeah.
Yes. That I like that feedback, because when you're teaching virtually, it's hard to see your students' reaction, and when you're doing a meditation, you don't know if they're sleeping, if they're petting their dog, eating breakfast. I don't know. So I'm glad that's.
Yeah. It's a great way to teach. I kind of want to borrow it from you to teach other people, because I think I think when you can do that with someone, I feel that it puts people at ease, because it puts the card and the meaning in their realm of understanding, not what they have been told it's supposed to mean.
Right.
And that gives the reader the power to trust their gut.
That's
and I
the
think that's
important thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what else do you teach at the school? Is there something you teach?
I teach 5 classes. I'm teaching the aspect class, the full moon, which I told Cara like 3 years ago. I says, if I want to teach anything, because when I finished my degree with Wilsonstein in 2015, I started their master's program, and I got 1 year into it and the teaching track with Della. But then they closed it for lack of students, which I can understand. You know, they're not going to keep it open for 4 or 5 people. So fortunately, I was able to get in and teach, anyway. But I told Cara, who's the dean of education, that my goal is to teach that Sabbaths class, because that was my most favorite. And I think that your class, you had a lot of turnover, didn't you? With that?
It was just her by the end.
It was me.
Oh, your junior year or senior?
Junior year, it was me and 2 other people maybe, and then by my senior year it was me and 1 other person, but then halfway through they left, and then it was just me.
You started with Badger and then end with Solenox.
Yeah, my senior year I started with Badger. He left. I was alone for a little bit, and then Solenox came back to finish her senior year. So, but it was mostly just me. So it was a different experience.
And then your junior year, you were helping with Skyface senior year, so you were part of every Espet and Sabbath.
Yeah, Skyface was alone during her senior year, and I was in the junior year, so I was the only one to really help out with them to do the Sabbaths.
So she got to do Espet.
So I was doing a lot.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that class, and it's been full. This is my 2nd year, but I love teaching ritual. I also wrote the intro to astrology class.
Yes.
Which we use our natal chart to learn the principles of astrology, which I think is fantastic.
Yes.
So it hits home, and people can connect a lot easier when they're talking about their own signs and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Do a magical herbalism too.
That was the one. I knew you did something with herbs. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get together a second one, advanced magical herbalism.
Oh, wow.
I really am. It's been on my plate, but I just don't know. Well, my responsibilities with the church just go up and up and up. So.
Oh yeah, and you got to take over. So for our viewers, I did enrollment for the school.
Yeah.
And I decided to retire, and it's so funny because retire, but I mean, it was time to do other things, because I had been on the staff for a really long time, and it was just time. I was like, I got to devote time, because I run a local red tent. I have the coven, and we're doing a lot of community things before the earth stood still, obviously. But so I handed off my enrollment procedures, and Trish, it was I laugh at this because it's a lot. It's a lot of work. And are you still doing enrollment?
Yes, I am.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just a lot of work.
Well, it makes sense, because I took on the role of bookkeeper for the school in 2012, I believe. And then I started to 2018, I was asked to be the high purse warden for the whole ATC organization. But the thing with the bookkeeper for the school is I always thought that it was silly not to have enrollment part of accounting.
Yes.
Because they're so closely related.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I really, by taking it on, we were doing double work. So
that's true. Yeah.
The only thing that really got added to my plate was all the stupid form letters, which if I could, want to find someone to help with that, I really should start looking.
Yeah.
Because that process could be somebody else as well, taking care of the paperwork side while I could do the accounting. But
the administrative.
I enjoy it. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And you do good at it. And it was nice because when I was training you or telling you all the stuff I did, we had kind of the same, like all the notes I handed over to you and all those stuff. I felt good that it wasn't that hard of a transition because our mindset was the same. Like the way I wrote out everything, you're like, yes, this is good. I understand what you're saying, because some people, everyone learns differently and thinks differently. So that's when I realized that, oh, we're kind of on the same wavelength. We've got that structured A, B, C, D, E, F, G kind of, the bullet points and stuff like that. It's not just, oh yeah, go into, because when I was trained on enrollment, it was really hectic. I had several people training me, and it was kind of like, go here. Oh, that's new. Maybe we should ask so-and-so who used to do that. Oh yeah, go ahead. It was very kind of all over the place, and that makes me really nervous. That makes me get kind of panicky because I don't like that kind of structure.
And from my point of view, the assets of the church is like, that's my life right now. So school, making sure that it does well, and that the process is run well is just on the forefront. So I've been working hard with Lady Bella and everybody to streamline it, and it looks good. It's really good because it was kind of crazy.
I haven't been part of it for a while, but I assume it's running smoothly, and you're not pulling your hair out as much as in the beginning. So
I'm pulling out my hair for other reasons. This whole virtual spring mysteries, that was killer. That was
so tell me your for our viewers again, we had to move everything when the quarantine happened. We had to move everything online for the ATC Spring Mysteries. So, and there was a lot of doubt that it was gonna be pulled off. Tell me how you felt about it when you first heard it was going online.
Well, it happened so fast, and I was, because I was a part of the planning team with you for it. And when I was told it was virtual, I had no doubt it was going to work, because the team involved, I mean, they're just, the ATC team for Spring Mysteries is so dedicated and so smart, and their creativity just blows me away. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed it, and I know some of the feedback with people is because it was so up close and personal. We could hear the story. We could feel the story. I would sit there and I'd cry and I'd laugh or whatever. Whereas when you're at the mysteries, there's so many people and so many distractions. You really fully participating is difficult. So I am so grateful for that opportunity to be able to learn it that way, so that now when I go, when it's live again, I'll know what's going on.
It was much easier to understand all of the deities and characters. In comparison to years past.
Well, we were always on stage. We did stage managing for a couple of years.
This is the first time in 4 years I've actually got to watch the mysteries in any way, shape, or form. So it was pretty cool.
It was really nice.
It's mandatory to watch it before you perform moving forward. If anybody from, the Emote Pies looking at this.
I have witnessed in the past, but it'd been years.
It'd been a while since we got
I've always been behind the stage.
When you're behind the stage.
Hopefully they recorded this last one, and like I said, it should be mandatory watching.
I think that's a good idea. And they did record it all. It's all available. So that's awesome. I want to talk about when I met you you were talking about fire, dancing around the fire, and I know you love doing that, because I remember when I met you at Spring Mysteries last year, you and I had a lot of fun that Saturday night around the fire. And
I love dancing. I'll do it.
You kept finding us and drinking the homemade Kahlua.
We had homemade Kahlua. Trish would find us. We had homemade Kahlua. You found us and would take sips. It was that point of the night where people were just sharing whatever was in their flasks.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But we have a naked Scotch party at my festival that cannot be missed.
Oh, nice.
We're going to Florida.
That was the only reason why we'd ever go to Florida, is to see you. But
we're not a fan of Florida outside of very few people that live in Florida.
we know people who live in Florida too. One of my best friends is down there. He's always like, "Are you gonna come see me?" I'm like, "Nope." I don't. But
we follow Florida man. We know what happens down there.
They're crazy people in Florida, Trish.
Yes, but we're very open-minded and
That's a good way to put it. Clink and drink to open-minded Florida
that's
people.
right. We'll do anything once or twice.
Or 10 times. Yeah, if you read in the headlines, Florida man, we are looking right. Oh, what did this Florida man do? What did he do? Riding a tractor naked in the swamp? What's going on?
There's a radio spot that happens every day on a classic rock station here in Spokane. They play a national show, and they have a game show. It's called It Happened in Florida.
No.
And what they do is they tell 3 different stories from around the world, and then they have guests call in and guess which of the stories happened in Florida. My favorite one has to do with a sheriff's department was running a sting on a whorehouse that they was running in Florida. They caught 3 of the deputies at the whorehouse that did not know that they were running the sting from their own sheriff's office. That's the most Florida thing I've ever heard.
That's amazing. I would have been like, did you guys send out a memo? Maybe give us a heads up.
No, there's kind of a disconnect, you know. My husband works for the state. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh my God. But I was gonna say, so Spring Mysteries, and one of my favorite memories. There were so many because I got to meet you, and I was just very excited that we got to be in person and share each other's energy. But one of my favorite things, Trish, is that Saturday night we had a great time out by the fire, and then Sunday morning, when everyone got up all of a sudden and was cleaning, you weren't used to this because everyone's home for something.
Like, what is everyone doing?
You came into my room and sat on the bed next to me because I was still kind of trying to wake up, and you came and you sat and you go, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
Sundays at my festival, you don't see anybody till about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe. I mean, you guys are up at 7. I'm like,
yes.
what?
And I told you, I go, "Welcome to Spring Mysteries. It is an efficient, and everyone does it, and we're all hungover. Well, not everybody, because there are people out there that don't, but there's the ones of us that do the Saturday night.
They don't hang out with us very often.
But they usually don't hang out with us because they know that they'll be suffering in the morning. But we're professionals. We were pretty used to it. But yeah, there's still, I just remember the look on your face. You sat down, you're like, "Lola, what the fuck is going on? You guys all got up at 7 in the morning." And I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. Ready to go by 10:30.
There is no memo. I don't remember reading this.
They don't tell you that.
They want you to have Saturday night.
I remember at festival. Oh gosh.
Do you remember or not remember?
We're just gonna scratch that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
At my festival, I take my kids to my festival, and my kids can hear me because I giggle, I laugh, I have fun, and they always know where Mama is.
Yes.
This is why you're in us.
I relate to this.
Right. Yeah. So my kids are, my last 2 are definitely festival rats or brats like yours. So.
Yeah. But anyways, I want to talk about when is usually you said, so the Phoenix Festival does 2 different festivals, and when are they? I know now is different, you know, what's going on, but when do they run? When are the dates?
Our Phoenix Fire is in March. It's always over Ostara.
Okay.
So every week that is. We tried to balance it out and be on Mabon in the fall, but it's too damn hot in September. So
Yeah,
it's humid where you're at.
Yeah, see that's
yeah.
Yeah.
So we moved it to the middle of October, so it kind of floats around there, and that's our autumn event. So yeah, we canceled. We were the first Florida's hopping with lots of festivals. We have drum festivals. We have Burning Man Festival. I mean, there's something all the time.
Yeah.
So we canceled our events before it was mandatory, and that was a very hard decision because, as you probably know, Florida, we're already open. We're doing almost everything back to normal. And I know Washington is still completely in quarantine, so we're definitely on different planets.
Yeah.
So, you know, we canceled our event, and then everybody else decided. We fully expect to have our October event open.
Good.
And I know that, you know, Sickle is going to be virtual. They've already advertised that.
Yeah.
I guess for fear of rebound.
Yeah.
But
how are you guys doing over there? Is everything open? Because ours is in phases, so we're like in phase 2 right now.
Oh, are you? Because
we're on the eastern portion of the state. We're not in Seattle.
Yeah, we're
over in Spokane.
Yeah.
So we're 300 miles away.
Yeah.
Well, our beaches are open, our parks are open, the malls. I went to the mall last weekend to buy me a steampunk dress.
Ooh.
Our mall opens tomorrow.
What's that?
Our mall
reopens tomorrow.
Our mall opens tomorrow.
Well, I'll say the mall maybe a third of the stores were open. So it's all up to the individual owners, really. But, you know, with the quarantine, my husband, he works for the state prison. He's a maintenance supervisor, so he essential had to work. I work from home. We really have not felt anything other than I had 7 festivals I was going to go to this spring. 7.
Jesus.
None.
Yeah.
Atlanta canceled theirs for July, and then I was going. Grandmother Elspeth, her 90th birthday party was going to be in West Virginia in August, and she canceled that one.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? That's August.
Yeah.
And I rented a cabin for Phoenix people, and we were just all gonna, because she's always been coming to our event. In fact, she's one of our elders. So I was looking forward to going up to West Virginia. And Puff's next weekend, and they canceled. I was gonna go do one, and so.
Didn't Puff and Three Gates?
They're joining together online. Are
Yeah.
you gonna do the online thing? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm so online out.
Are you? Yeah.
I'm done. It's camping weather, and that's the other thing is we moved our festival site, and so we have been camping a lot on this site. It's just us, so even during quarantine, because it's not a public campground, it's a private land.
Yeah.
So we've been going out there and working the space, you know, getting it ready, because it's a piece of land. It's raw land. So Eric built showers. We're cutting out roads. We're landscaping. We're going to build a stage, hopefully over the summer, so that we'll have a nice place in October. Brand new place.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you, but no, you're in a coven down there, aren't you? You have a coven are you part of a coven or a circle?
Okay, so yeah, I do a lot of things here. I'm part of that guard coven, like I said, in my elevation. It was supposed to be May 1st on Meltane, but because of quarantine, we postponed it. I run a women's empowerment group. I don't call it a red tent anymore. It's empowerment. I have archery. We do archery every month.
Very cool.
And we do Sabbath celebrations. So we just kind of do that. The archery, I have all the equipment. So you just come and do it. So it's really neat. And then I'm part of a Northeast Florida Pagan Leadership Coalition, which is a bunch of clergy members in Northeast Florida that get together to work together to promote and educate and to support the groups that are going on in North Florida. So it's a whole bunch of different traditions. The Corellians, Lord Don, he's part of our group, so it's really cool. I didn't know that, you know, he was like Lord Don.
Don's amazing.
Yeah, we love Don.
He's so humble.
He is.
He's the nicest ever.
Lori, the high priest, I love her to death. I love her.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. So anyway, I love this group that we work with. And then I have a private group that Eric and I, my high priest, we've been working with, kind of to hive off from the one that I'm on right now. That's kind of our intention. But those are just friends from Phoenix that we've been working with for years. Just sweet people. We hang out with every full moon, and so a lot of stuff.
You are very busy, and you contribute so much to the community, and I love that when I hear, because that's, you know, I haven't been part of the pagan community as long as like you have and other people, but we're getting involved. You know, we've been 6 years now,
You have been.
I have, yeah. But as far as our coven has been a couple years, and that's what we really want to do is get our coven really out in front of the pagan community, like to show that you can, because here in Spokane, it can be very,
There's a lot of ego.
There's a lot of ego sometimes, and there's a lot of, so we've got that we have to battle. But I think that that's why I like to hear what people like you and others are doing, because it gives me ideas. So it's inspiring, and it's goals. I'm always like, hashtag goals,
Well, this coalition has bylaws and stuff like that. It's very well organized, and we just come together. I mean, we do Jack's Pagan Pride. We walk in the Pride Parade. That's so much fun.
Oh, fun.
Very cool.
Can I ask you, and I don't know, because you and I have had behind the scene conversations, but you stopped calling your circle Red Tent. Was that for obvious reasons? Tent?
No, because the Red Tent to me has a connotation of, I was part of a Red Tent movement here in Jacksonville. We rented this huge museum with a bunch of girls, and we had a really active Red Tent. And to me, the Red Tent is about coming together and letting yourself be heard. My group is more like, I want to empower. I don't want, okay, we'll listen to you. Like, I don't know. I just want to change the direction to feeling sorry and woe is me, which is okay.
Yeah.
To more like, okay, this shit happened to me. I'm not taking it anymore, and I'm going to put a bow on it, and I'm going to get my frustration out and let it go. And it's more like the group is Amazon Women's. It's off of like a Dianic kind of tradition.
Yeah.
So I love it.
That's awesome.
It just has a different tone to it.
Yeah.
She's going out with Jennifer Lopez enough.
What?
Just ignore him. I do. Anyway. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I run a Red Tent group here in Spokane, and it's gone pretty well. And I haven't had any problems or any complaints or anything. So I like to hear about how other women are running their women's groups, because, again, I get ideas and stuff like that. But so far, ours has been really good. It's been we do a lot of activities. And I also pass on the discussions to other women to run discussions, because there's women in our group that might, I feel that they have a lot to say and they know a lot about certain topics. Yeah. And I want them to share that. And to some women that's like mortifying, like, I don't want to talk about. So, but to see some of these women actually step up and say, I'd like to do this, that makes me feel really good. Because that means that, yeah, they're learning. Yeah, they're getting their confidence. They're not being silenced. They're being like, yes, what you have to say and show us is important. So it's been good, and I've always really enjoyed my women's group, and I also enjoy the online one that we do together. Yeah. I think that's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that as crones, for viewers, I know the Red Tent. If you want to look it up, look up the Red Tent Temple movement. It's awesome for women. But I know
I couldn't get people to come under that. That was a thing too.
Yeah.
It was hard to attract women to Red Tent. So when I changed it with the archery thing, that's how I lure them in.
I lure mine in with wine. And apparently one of the rules in a Red Tent is you're not supposed to have alcohol.
Oh, really?
According to the Red Tent Temple movement, the one that kind of started all of this.
The Spokane chapter has all those rules.
Yeah, they say you're not supposed to have alcohol because there could be people in recovery and stuff like that, but I don't play by those rules.
If you know your people.
Yeah. I mean, my people, they like to drink wine, and if someone shows up and there's wine there and they don't choose to drink wine, we always have other beverages, so it's just like, So anyway, yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about or ask us about or tell us how awesome we are?
Like I said, I do. I love the Witches in Wine. I love the fact that you're putting yourself out there. I couldn't do it. So I appreciate that you are.
I think you could.
Well, here you are. You just did 45 minutes, no problem at all.
Yeah, you.
Well, but you're leading the show. See,
Well,
this is the thing. I like to follow those who shine.
Oh well,
She shines.
I try.
He shines. My man shines. So I'm the little motorboat behind the figure.
Anyway,
That's a different motorboat.
that's a different motorboat.
That too.
Oh my God, I love you so much, Trish. So we're
You guys.
gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. So before we go, we just like to let everyone know. I know it is. I'm drinking wine. I'm like, let's clink and
Take off
drink.
all your clothes?
That's right.
Clink and drink.
Mine's empty, but
That's my reputation. I don't go to a fire where clothes don't come off.
I hate clothes.
We actually
They're
don't.
dumb.
We don't like clothes in this family. No, my 16-year-old son is the only one who covers up every part of his body. He is like, he wears long sleeves in the summer and
Yeah.
But me and Silenus and our son Cole, we just like the less clothes the better. We're just like, oh my God, clothes. And yeah, so
That's our event. My event is clothing optional.
Oh,
So
see, I love that.
it can be sky clad. And you know who our ritual coordinators are? I gotta say this.
Yeah.
Chip and Krista.
Chip and
WSTS graduates are my ritual coordinators. Yes, they are.
Oh, that's awesome. I
know.
love that.
I trust where they're coming from. I love them.
They're very, yes, they know a lot of stuff.
They do. So my point is we do a sky clad ritual, the four of us, and we have people come and we go into this really cool place. Well, we moved places, but we used to go in the woods, and it was just awesome to be naked out there in the woods doing ritual.
Yep.
See, that is our dream, is to have property where we can have everyone run around naked and be away from the city,
and have our festival on our private property.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about offending anyone or.
And the wonderful thing about Spokane is that we're always like 20 minutes away from nature.
Oh, nature.
Yeah, nature.
Spokane has the wild all the way around.
All the way around us.
That's what Dee tells me. I'd love it out there. I'm like,
you would if you would see out the beauty of it outside of the city. Spokane, the city itself, is kind of meh.
So we're lucky enough to have some coven mates that live out in the country and have country properties.
We go out to their house and
good.
yeah.
Well,
Danielle, yes,
and then another coven
our
mate.
friend Willow, she lives out in the country.
She has 10 acres that we can go do whatever we need to do. We do outdoor festivals out there.
And with this quarantine going on, just to get us all out of the house, we've been going on long car rides, and we just go out. And our kids are always like, where is this? Like, we just entered a whole new place, showing them that. Yeah, but it's awesome, though, because we have beautiful lakes all around us.
We have mountains.
It's really,
nice.
If you want to get away, it's really easy to get away here in Spokane. And so that's what I love about it, is that we could still be like 20, 30 minutes away from town.
Yep.
And there's always a main road somewhere that we could drive into town.
There's a highway to make it to town.
So that is our goal, is we're gonna get property and just do what us pagans like to do. Yeah. So anyway, well, thank you so much, Trish. You are so fun to talk to. I love you so much, and I can't wait till we meet again in person.
Yeah.
You're just fun.
We had so much fun when we got to meet you in person last year at Mysteries.
It was one of my most exciting moments. I was like, I get to
Your David Bowie deck. Your David Bowie deck.
Yes. Yeah, that blew your mind. You're like, oh my God. Yeah, it was. I loved it. So, anyways, if any of our viewers have any questions on what we do, want to be a guest, or you just want to complain to us, I guess we can take that. But go ahead and email us at
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
what was that?
That's crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
So remember, everyone, to be kind to one another and walk with the goddess. And until next time, blessed be. Bye, everybody. Clink and drink. Woo. Gonna stop the recording.